So America turned 250 years old this past week, and for this sort of occasion, you would expect for me to wear red, white, and blue, really celebrate this big achievement. But as you see, I am wearing black, not because I couldn't really find a outfit, or just because it is hot as shit in my apartment right now. But the reason I'm wearing black is because we're celebrating the death of this great country. Because, the celebration of America's 250th anniversary was nothing but a shit show. And I feel like it could be best described by this clip that I'm about to show you, which ever since I've seen this clip, it's been stuck in my head. It's been just hanging out in my mind. It will probably never go away. Key memories from my life will be erased in place of this, because I think it just is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I just love it. It's my favorite clip ever. When I die, I want this clip to play during like a tribute video. And of course, I'm talking about this clip that didn't happen at the America 250 fair that we will be covering. But how could I not talk about this? Just look at this beautiful tribute to our country. How can you not love it? It's so great. And guess what? We're playing it again. One more time. How does that just not make you feel patriotic? How does that not make you just love this country, man? What a perfect example of what this country is, man. A dude decked out in a American parachute, an American flag parachute, with a flag on a pole hanging from him, only for that pole to get caught on the tree, forcing him to get dragged down face first into a tent. And not just any tent, a Coors Light tent. And so I don't remember the exact event this happened at, but it was like at some rodeo. It was fucking wild, man. That was just, it was the best thing that I ever seen. I've seen a lot of like great pieces of art, but nothing comes close to that. When I die, it is going to be one of the core memories that plays out right before my death of this guy just eating complete shit. But yeah, going on to the fair, the celebration itself, it wasn't great. Even from like last week, I believe, like a week before this event, when they really were just trying to like open stuff up, it wasn't going very well. The turnout wasn't great, and it remained very disappointing in terms of turnout. You think for an event celebrating the 250th anniversary for America, it would be a giant turnout, but Donald Trump does what he does best and ruins everything by sticking his dick in it. He just can't stop inserting himself into everything major in this country. Just look at the Knicks game that he showed up at, made it a big deal that he was going to be there. Look what happened. It was the worst game they had. Everyone hated him for it. And I feel like that energy is just kind of carried over here. Like, nobody who wasn't like a big MAGA supporter went to this. And the only people who weren't like major MAGA supporters were like journalists who were covering this. Speaking of journalists covering this, I just wanted to check this out. This was a fun little video that I saw going over the event. This was from like 2 days ago, so pretty close into the event, like on the 4th. So this would have been like July 3rd. And it just looks so sad. It looks like they barely planned for this at all.
American State Fair. We are here at the Great American State Fair, a wonderful affair put on by Donald Trump to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this great country. Seems like the only thing that's really hot today is the temperature, breaking 100 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 36 degrees Celsius for international friends.
We were told there was tens of thousands of people here, but there wasn't really that many people here at the time.
Luckily, dude, dead in the fucking water. Jesus Christ. Like, even for a like county fair, this is so small. Like, it's almost as if they fucking had to pay people to be there, just like from how sad it looks.
I guess that just meant more fun for us.
I just got out of the American...
Oh yeah, and in terms of like the opening days of this event, it also did not go well at all. Apparently, they had like a major power outage, which resulted in all the ice cream getting melted, and someone was arrested for masturbating. So yeah, not off to a great start, and it did not continue. It never got better.
Canvas collab with Faith and Family, and this exhibit was off the chart. There was this amazing exhibit about the Great Awakening, call me woke. There were all these amazing texts and reminders that the separation of church and state, a little overrated. And finally, guys, I got to meet George Washington. I was just in the America Innovates exhibit. Out of the vast industrious spirit that America has, illustrated a few particular companies, one of which was, of course, Truth Social, Donald Trump's...
Yeah, like, no shit. People were not going to be racing to go there. Even if you are, like, a MAGA fan, there wasn't that much of a turnout, really. Like, it just got turned into a celebration for Trump. So obviously that's going to, drive people away. Like, you're already a divisive president to begin with who has a very low approval rating. So a lot of people aren't going to come for that when you're desperately trying to insert yourself in it. But also, like, all the exhibits and shit like that, like a whole exhibit for like True Social, like it's very clear what they were trying to do here. It wasn't about America's anniversary. It was just Trump seeing this as an opportunity to make it about himself.
The app. Another was, of course, TikTok, which has a major stake owned by the pro-Israel, pro-Trump billionaire Larry Ellison, and of course, our very own SpaceX, which I know there's been some unsavory headlines lately, but I think Elon Musk really deserves to be a trillionaire.
This is more than a concert. It's a powerful celebration of faith, hope, and the songs.
Tried ending the day at the reflecting pool, the one that Donald Trump has worked so hard to beautify. But
attention to all individuals in the area, trespassing is not allowed. Please leave the premises immediately. Thank you for your cooperation.
There you have it.
Just a fucking disaster, man. It goes with like the reflecting pool as well. This administration has taken nothing but L's, but since they are still in control of basically everything, it doesn't matter. They'll still get away with it. It doesn't matter how much they'll fuck up. They still just won't admit to their fuck ups. Like, they're trying to turn the reflecting pool thing into and saying Antifa's they're corrupting the pool. I can only imagine how they're going to try to spin how disastrous this entire affair was. And I saw like coverage of it while it was happening, like live coverage. And you could just tell that like Fox News was so desperate to try to do any positive spin they could on it. It was just incredibly sad. But it also wouldn't be a celebration of this country during the Trump administration without a bunch of white nationalists marching in D.C. with Confederate flags and upside down American flags. And I've seen plenty of like Republican talking heads who are just like, oh, this is fake. Like, I believe Laura Ingraham was literally like, oh, this seems fake. This seems like it's made up. Maybe it's Antifa. They always go to that. It's so wild. We're still doing Antifa. We're still doing that. We're still trying to use that as a scapegoat. But then when it came to the fair itself, on the day of July 4th, the Great American State Fair had to be essentially closed for a while. They reopened it purely because Trump refused to not give a speech at the event. But yeah, they had to close it down for a while for safety reasons due to a storm that was approaching. So as you can see, like, winds were really picking up, just getting very unsafe.
Away from the stage.
By the way, this wasn't the only problem with the stage when it came to this event. A few days before this, a piece of the stage literally just fell. Just completely dropped. Like, this thing had all the signs that it shouldn't have gone on, that they should have just been like, let's just take the L and just move on with this. Nope, we're just gonna power through it and everything will go wrong and we won't see that as a sign. The storm was coming. They had to clear out, which really sucked because a lot of people, they traveled for miles and miles and miles, states away, just to show up for this thing. And they were essentially just forced to stay in buildings. They were essentially just forced to leave the fair entirely and then have to come back. Well, not even come back. That's the thing. To me, if this would have happened, if I would have traveled miles and miles away just to go to a fair, and then it closed for hours on end because of a storm and I wasn't able to come back until like hours later, like they wouldn't allow you back on the fairgrounds until hours later, I would just be like, I'd rather just go back home or like at least go somewhere else within the area instead of just spending 3 hours standing in front of the entrance for this fair. Because that's what people did. When this tweet was made, it was 7:10, so probably around like 7 is when this alert went out, probably a little bit afterwards. Then we have this tweet right here from a journalist who was covering the event. At 10:13, masses frantically re-enter National Mall through Secret Service checkpoints as Trump says he's still coming. So yeah, like almost 3 hours. Absolutely insane. And when this evacuation was taking place, of course, you know, the big bucks get special treatment as Israeli mega donor Miriam Adelson was given VIP treatment, escorted out by security in a golf cart during Freedom 250 weather evacuations after ordinary citizens waited and walked hours to get in and out of the event in 100 degrees Fahrenheit weather. Who cares about like the normal people who probably spent a lot of their time within the day showing up for this event and just spending hours to even get in? Because apparently like getting in wasn't exactly that easy anyways. Again, it was just fuck up after fuck up after fuck up. Some people just refused not to leave.
They're telling them to leave, but they're not leaving. All these people here have decided to stay for the show. We're here on the ground reporting with OMG, talking to people. Some fascinating conversations here. And we're gonna hang out.
Yeah, I bet it's a real meeting of the minds. Jesus Christ, just completely funny. My wife and I were finally third in line at the security check-in when they shut down entry and told everyone to leave. They told everyone to shelter in the immediate museums. We walked back to our hotel and returned later. The rain didn't arrive until 8 p.m. Fun show. Smells like a White House psyop to get people out of harm's way due to a credible threat to the president, his family, and patriot. Dude, this country is not gonna make it. This country's not gonna make it. We're screwed, man. The scene outside the security perimeter. If U.S. Security Service were to try to establish the mags and security perimeter again, in scenario that Trump still wants to speak, he hasn't canceled, you're looking at several hours to process everyone again. And that's what happened. He didn't cancel, obviously. He showed back up. They started letting people in around 10, and then he didn't even talk until 11. Like, he didn't give a speech until 11. Probably just a way to make sure that everyone was in all fairness, but like, I can't still get into the mind frame of someone being like, yeah, I will willingly wait like 4 hours just to hear him talk. And all it really was, from what I've seen, is it's literally just him being like, you can't be a communist and a patriot at the same time. Just like ragging on about communism, which really just sad for the American Communist Party out there, isn't it? All the fucking, what's his name? Jackson Hinkle? Is that his fucking name? This ACP guy? Whatever his fucking name is, that loser. You just know that was like their worst day, where he was just like, no, I'm not with you. You're not one of us. It was such a bad speech, but like, I mean, that man's just been mentally declining. So anytime, it's not worth to really hear him speak anymore. Like, he doesn't have the juice anymore. He doesn't have the charisma. It's just kind of fading away with age. But yeah, just like piles upon piles of people just waiting to get back in. And this was at 8:30 that this tweet went out. So they still had like 2 hours, a little less than, until gates even started opening back up. And yeah, we already saw this one. People just
The whole crowd here.
really trying to get in there. Yeah, we're not really going to be covering his speech today just because I really don't care. I really don't care all that much. This is probably where we're going to leave it today. But you know what? Let's not go out on a sour note of how just terrible this fair really was. Let's end it once again on a high note. It never gets old, man. And before anyone says anything, luckily this man didn't really get hurt all that much. I think his upper lip had a bit of a cut to it. I think it was this one that I saw. A rodeo spokesperson told KCRA3 that the skydiver is doing well aside from a small cut over his lip, that he will be jumping again this Friday evening. You know what? Failed once, try again. I like that. You know, never give up. You know, he's fine. Okay, so we can enjoy this once again. I should make this my wallpaper, just in case, you know, I'm having a bad day. I can just look down at my phone and have a bit of smile. But yeah, that's all I really had to say today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Hooray, boys!